Good afternoon all, and welcome to Leicestershire, somewhere near Lutterworth or Loughborough. I don't know which one it is. I don't really care either. We're heading for Herbert's Meadow. Whenever you hear about a new site that's got, or new site to me that's got both common spotted and heath spotted orchids side by side, you kind of got to go and have a look at it. And when they also mention they've got marsh fragrant orchids here, if they're in flower yet, and heath fragrant orchids as well, I'm thinking this is a must. So I've come trekking over here to take a look at Herbert's Meadow and see what Herbert and his meadow have to offer. Looking forward to this one, should be good. Looks like one of the two meadows, known as Herbert's Meadows. There are two. Right, let's get on it. Not seen an orchid yet, but I'm confident we're about to bang into them. He said with all optimism possible. Just took a quick glance at my notes, which is always a wise thing to do. It said get down to the bottom of the field, because that's where all the orchids are, which is why I can't see any up here. So off we go. Off we go with the common spotted. Nice little family group. A nice raspberry red common spotted orchid. That's nice, what I used to call a two-tone, with all the markings being nice and colourful, but with a white central lobe, or lighter central lobe. From a distance it looks like it's a two-tone common spotted orchid. Always like these. Certainly not boring common spotted orchids, not to me anyway. Nicely and brightly marked. That's the first, in fact it's a group of chalk fragrant orchids. I wonder if I'd be too greedy to hope for a white one. Never seem to find a white one, but they're always good to see. Lovely orchids. And there you go, a heath spotted orchid no less. Wonder how they're mixing here. What's the soil pH? Might just have to take a look. Well, there's the heath spotted. It's the bottom line on there where it says alkaline left and acidic right. 7 is neutral, 7 is right in the middle, and that's just about as right in the middle as you can get. So it's a completely neutral soil, which is no surprise. That's pretty much similar to Mary's Meadows, where you get common spotted and heath spotted together. It's bang on the border. Both can tolerate a neutral soil. I suspect a lot of the heath spotteds will be like this one, very pale, very sort of faded, because they're quite late in the season now. You're not going to get the colouring that you tend to get when they first open. I'll keep my fingers crossed. You never can be certain that you won't find a pink one, just something eye-catching, but I suspect most will be like this. But good to see them. Okay, chalk fragrant orchid, no doubt about that. The flowers are spaced out, there's gaps through between the flowers. I always say if you can see through a fragrant orchid, it's going to be a chalk fragrant orchid, and that is. But then right next to it, in comparison, is that, with a very dense flower head. Lovely markings. Heath spotted orchid, very nice. Lovely heath spotted. Transiens hybrid common spotted cross heath spotted, no idea. It's as likely as some of the ones I see on social media as being transiens hybrids. It could easily be. It's common spotted face, there's no sort of little spots on it, typical of common spotted, but it's a heath spotted flower, very highly likely to be a hybrid. That's another marsh fragrant orchid as far as I'm concerned, a bit paler than the more reddy pink marsh fragrance I'm used to, but it's definitely full of flowers and no sort of lateral lobes sticking out sideways, are flat, which in my books, not everybody's, in my books that makes that a marsh fragrant orchid. It's a heath spotted orchid, but with those markings, surely that's another transiens hybrid. Can't prove it, it's got to be up there with a serious chance. That's a big one, and on the face of it it's a heath spotted. That central lobe isn't extending beyond the two side lobes, but again the markings could suggest a hybrid. You never know with these. It's a nice orchid though. That's nice, a heath spotted with some colour in it. Very good. That is an absolute clonker of a heath spotted orchid. A real big one. Very nice. These heath spotted are starting to dominate up this one side of the field. There is a lot of them and in great condition. Lovely markings on that heath spotted. Another two-tone common spotted orchid. Good numbers of fragrant orchids, mostly chalk, with just the odd marsh. Boldly marked diminutive common spotted orchid. Now, I don't want to get into trouble here and call this a pure white common spotted when it isn't, but it is. It kind of, from a mile away you can see this is a pure white, it glows. There's no markings on here, I'm pretty certain there are no markings on here. This is a pure white, stunning common spotted orchid. And there's another one, a second pure white common spotted orchid, glowing in this light, really nice. Lovely markings, common spotted. Number 3, pure white common spotted. 3, crazy stuff. What a beauty. I suppose this one's going to stand still long enough for you to appreciate it. Another wonderfully marked common spotted orchid. Stand still, please. Smile. There you go. Amazing stuff. Glorious common spotted orchid. It's a nice heath spotted orchid. Strongly marked. Heath spotted. I'd love to find a white heath spotted orchid. Unfortunately this isn't. It is a heath spotted orchid, but it's got faint markings on at the top. Well, I'm going to head over to the second field now, but this field is absolutely superb. Really is staggering. Heath spotted, common spotted, chalk fragrant, marsh fragrant, all in one wonderful flower meadow. Absolutely brilliant stuff. I can't believe the second field is going to improve on this, but got to give it a chance, haven't we? So yeah, just lost for words. Absolutely brilliant field of orchids. Great fun. Really is great fun. I think we've seen this design before. It's still a wonderful common spotted orchid. Now that is intense. If only there was a rhodochilla here. Right, I need you to find this one because the young lady who put me onto this wonderful orchid site did so via this, posted on social media, to which I said it looks suspiciously like there might be some sort of hybridization going on here, and a lot of people jumped on me and said no, it's just a common spotted orchid. Let's start at the bottom. Spotted leaves. For what it's worth, the stem's a little bit hollow, but not convincingly so. And those are the flowers. That orchid, the amount of flattened grass around here suggests that other people think that is something unusual. Not much of a scientific clue is that, but yeah, there's something going on to bring in this many people. Right, not seeing a whole lot of orchids in this field. Didn't think it could match up to the previous one, but I shouldn't really say that yet, as I've only covered one corner. I was about to say common spotted, but I think it's heath spotted. That central lobe's sort of tucked in within the two outer lobes. That's a heath spotted orchid, nicely marked. Grass is very dense here. The grass is dense in the middle of the first field and there's no orchids growing there either. This entire field seems to have this very thick set dense grass and there's no orchids. I'm going to head back down to the bottom where the hedgerow is, because if there are any, they'll be by that hedgerow where it thins out a wee bit. Just the odd one or two popping up down here, but not many. Yeah, not too much going on in there, apart from that one strange is it or isn't it a hybrid. I'll have a look at that one later on. So I'm going to cut a line across the first meadow, see if we can pick up a few more on the way out. I've just realised I've actually only done the bottom half of this field. I'm not sure I've got the energy to do the top half as well. Not sure I can resist it, because you know the rule, if you don't look, that's where the good ones are going to be. So I'm going to have to try and drag my legs around this as well. It seems once you get past a certain point on the uphill, as it were, the orchids stop. I'm sort of walking along the dividing line now, so nothing to the right of me. And as I drift back down and the orchids start to appear again. Slightly strange looking common spotted, with bits flying out all over the place, left, right and centre. Tatty, I think. When I grow up I'm going to be a rhodochilla common spotted orchid. That's a damn good effort. That is number 4, white common spotted. That's magnificent. 4 in the same meadow. and they're all wonderfully clean. I'm looking for an orchid to bow out on, and I'm going to go with this one, what I call a two-tone common spotted orchid. I do love these. Suitable candidate to end on. That's it. That is Herbert's Meadow, or Meadows. And that first meadow is just fantastic. I'm not going to repeat everything I've already said. Absolutely brilliant. If you've not been here before, you've got to add it to your list. It'll certainly be on my list of sites to visit in future seasons. Really impressed with everything I've seen. Even just the common spotteds have been fantastic. 4 whites. I mean, come on, just absolutely crazy. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will be back with you next Friday at 6 o'clock.